Hey guys, my name is Tamir and welcome back to my channel. Every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I do a review called Did You See That Shit? And today is Friday, so today is all about Once Upon a Time. Okay, so this episode is called A Pirate's Life, and I love that this episode revolved around Hook's character, because this is a question that I had. How did Hook and Regina get into Hyperion Heights if they're supposed to be having their happily ever after? And I'm glad this episode gave me the answer. So here's the recap. Before we get into both these worlds, Hook and Henry is practicing their sword fighting. So Emma comes on board, but she can sense that Henry is basically feeling like he just wants to go away. And of course Emma is upset because she's like, that's my son, I don't want to see him go. But of course she wants him to find his own adventure. So Hook gives her a message in a bottle, so like if he is in trouble, they can get the message. Well, in the Enchanted Forest, Henry's kidnapped, but before he's kidnapped, he takes out the message in the bottle and says, send it to Emma, Regina, and Hook. He's kidnapped by Lady Tremaine. Sorry, I didn't specify who he's kidnapped by. So he's taken to Cinderella's old room where Lady Tremaine used to keep her. And she's like, where's Cinderella? And Henry's like, I'm not telling you. Like, I don't, or no, actually she's looking for her shoe. So she's like, where's Cinderella's shoe? Because I think that's how she was going to try and find Cinderella. So instead of Lady Tremaine staying there to do something, she takes her henchman and leaves Drizella to do it. And Henry's trying to sweet talk her, and it's like, hey, you're better than your mom. And Drizella's like, nah, dude, like, I'm much worse. Regina and Hook, like, pops in from the portal, and Regina makes Drizella, like, fly across the room, because Drizella looks at her and is like, who are you? And Regina's like, his mother, and just, and she was gone. So then Hook and Henry hug, and it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And of course, Henry's like, where's my other mother? Like, where's Emma? Regina looks at him like, oh my God, my baby's grown. Oh! And he's like, yeah, I'm still your son. Come here, Mom. Come here. And yeah, they hug. But of course, he's looking for Emma. And Hook gives him this lame ass excuse like, oh, she's fighting dragons in Storybrooke. No, damn well it ain't no damn dragon. She's slanging out there. And Henry leaves, and Regina looks at Hook like, why didn't you just tell him the truth? Hook is just like, well, you know, if Henry knew what was going on, he would drop everything to come back, and Emma didn't want that. So in Hyperion Heights, Rogers goes to Henry's apartment and is just like, hey, who is this lady that's in your book? She looks familiar to me. And Henry's like, this is just a character in my book, like she's not real. Of course Henry asks about Jacinda and Lucy, and Roger's just like, oh yeah, they're fine. You know, he's sad because, hello, you snitched, man, you snitched, come on. So in the other realm, Regina, Hook, and Henry are just, you know, trying to find Cinderella, and Regina's magic isn't working. So Hook is like, okay, well, I'll go to the port to see if she like boarded a ship to leave. So he leaves and he hears someone call his name. He like, who the fuck knows my name in this realm? That's not possible. So he turns around and lo and behold, it's the drunk Hook. You remember like last season, they had in the Wish realm, it was a drunk version of Captain Hook. So he turns around and he's talking to drunk Hook, and I'm gonna call him drunk Hook. Basically, like, our paths were the same until your queen in your realm cast the curse, because in my realm the curse wasn't casted, so I was basically left wallowing in self-pity, whereas for you got to, you know, find happiness. And Hook is just like, first of all, it's not my problem, it's not my fault, and third of all, that's not my concern. And drunk Hook is like, I could have. And Hook's like, all this self-pity is just not even cute. And drunk Hook was like, but bruh, I haven't had a drink in ages, so bow, hit him in the face, knocked his ass out. So then drunk Hook like hides our Hook's body and it's like, okay, I'm about to go see if I can become fine, you know? So he goes to Lady Tremaine and their interaction was kind of creepy. Lady Tremaine changes him into our Hook, our fine Hook. But before he shows up, Henry and Regina is having a conversation. Of course, Henry is asking like, how is everybody? How's grandpa and grandma and all them? And Regina's like, everyone's fine. And of course, Henry brings up Emma, like, what's going on with my mom? Like, how is she? You know, Regina's just like, let's hear about you. Like, what's going on with you? Like, she just changes the subject. Henry basically confessed that he thinks that he loves Cinderella, which, I mean, damn, that was fast, but I guess. He was just like, yeah, but I don't know if she, you know, feels the same way and all that. So then drunk Hook comes in and it's just like, oh yeah, she boarded a boat. She gone, bruh. And he gives Henry a note and Henry's just heartbroken. So he leaves. Regina looks at Hook and is like, bruh, if you don't go after my son and talk to him, and you know, Hook goes out and tries to talk to Henry and then all of a sudden Emma comes out. We're like, what? Yeah! Emma, what's up, girl? Yes. Okay, I love Emma. So she comes and she's like, hey, kid. You know, she always calls Henry, hey, kid. And everyone's like, yes, Emma. So they hug. She's just like, yeah, what's up? And then she announces that she's pregnant. And I was like, y'all. Now let me confess something, okay? I was not a big fan of Captain Swan. I'm gonna be honest, okay? I was not, okay? I was still holding out that hope that Neil was coming back. I'm so serious. I was holding out that fucking hope. But I actually like them together. I really do. Now I do. Like, I got used to it. I was like, okay, I can see it now. It's beautiful. The drunk Hook is looking like, oh shit, like he made a fucking mistake. So he goes to find our Hook and he's not where, you know, fake Hook put him. And all of a sudden our Hook comes behind him and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why did you do that? Like, comes with a knife through his neck, like, bleh. You know, of course they start fighting and then stab. Fake Hook gets stabbed and like before he starts dying, because at first, like, when they were fighting, our Hook was just like, you must be out your rabbit ass mind for hitting me and hiding me. And then the other Hook is like, no, I'm trying to fix my mistake. Like, what you doing? Like, stop, calm down. And, you know, our Hook wasn't having that. He was like, nah, you about to die today. So then, as the other Hook was starting to die, our Hook was trying to listen to what he's saying. And the drunk Hook was just basically like, I have a daughter. We like, what? You got a daughter? Like, yeah, I have a daughter and she was locked up in a tower and I used to sneak up to play with her and then she disappeared. I got cursed. Like something along the lines that he can't break the curse that his daughter is in. When fake Hook like runs away and disappears, Emma's like, what's going on? And so she finds both Hooks and she's like, wait, what's going on? And our Hook is like, save him. And Emma's like, my magic doesn't work out here. Since you love me, find it in you and find it in him to save him. So she saves him, of course. And so now let's go to Hyperion Heights, y'all. So after Hook leaves Henry's apartment, he goes to find his new partner, Weaver, who is Rumpelstiltskin. And Weaver's just basically like, you late. You were supposed to be here like 15 minutes ago and you're late. Roger's is like, my bad. Like, my bad, son. Weaver's like, do you really want this job? I mean, Roger's just like, yeah, of course I want this job. Jacinda goes to Victoria's office and it's like, I want to see Lucy. Ivy, well, that'll be like hella money, okay? Like $500, I think it was. And Jacinda's like, you did this shit on purpose. Like, obviously, you know I ain't got that type of... It's a charity event now, so I need money. And Jacinda's like, yeah, no, I don't have that money. Like, why are you really trying to keep me away from my daughter? And, you know, of course, Victoria's evil ass. Let's go back to Rogers and Weaver. They go to see Victoria, and Victoria's just basically like, you need to find some dirt on Henry Mills because I need him out of my life. And so Rogers and Weaver go to Henry's apartment. What are we doing? Like, we don't work for her. And Weaver's like, you're right, you work for me. So they go to the apartment and they're searching for things to get some dirt on Henry. And of course, they really didn't find anything substantial to charge him with anything, but Weaver found a book and a doll. So of course, he's like, oh, he has a daughter, or he had a daughter. Wonder what happened to her. They relay it back to Victoria. Let's go to Jacinda. So Jacinda and Sabine is looking for Jacinda a job because of course she's not making hella money at the Quickie Chickie. So she's like, I really need a job. And Sabine keeps telling her like, hey, let's try this, or hey, let's try that. And of course, they couldn't find anything. Henry goes to Jacinda and is just apologizing. And, you know, Jacinda ain't having it because she's like, you should have just kept your fucking mouth shut. I will have my daughter if you just shut it up. Sabine and Jacinda walking, and lo and behold, Sabine finds a good paying job that is where the recital will be. So they're like, yay. And then Jacinda's like, no, because Henry was there. Henry's the one who put up the ad for the job. So of course, Jacinda was not very happy about that. So they're working at the event, and Lucy comes out and it's like, Mom, you made it. And then she's like, did Henry help you? And you know, Jacinda didn't want to admit, but I mean, technically he did help, but she didn't want to admit it. But Lucy's like, yay, I knew he was gonna believe and all that. So then Sabine looks at Henry and is just like, are you in love with her? And I'm all like, damn, Sabine, be more upfront, why don't you? Like, she was hella like blunt with it. Victoria sees that Henry's there and she finds Weaver and Rogers and is like, you need to get rid of him. Weaver concocts this plan to frame Henry with Victoria's stolen bracelet. Rogers is just like, so what, you're just gonna plant that on him? Weaver is just like, no, I'm not gonna plant it on him. You're gonna plant it on him. And of course, Rogers feel like he don't want to do it, but I mean, he wants that job. He wants to be a detective. And let me rewind a little bit. Before they left his apartment, Rogers actually took Henry's keychain, because on the keychain, it has a little swan on it. Emma Swan, of course. Fast forward back. So at the recital, Rogers bumps into Henry and then slips something in his pocket. So it looks like, of course, he framed him. He walks away, the performance ends, and then Weaver makes like an announcement, like basically like, it's a thief in here, we need to check everybody, what's going on. Jacinda gets offended like, oh, so you just gonna frisk us all? Like, what the fuck? And Weaver got in her face, bitch, back up. And Henry's like, oh, hell no. So he like steps in, but then he gets elbowed in the damn face by Weaver. I'm all like, goddamn, violent. So Weaver's just like, after he hits Henry, he's like, turn out your pockets. So Henry turns out his pockets, and lo and behold, it's the keychain. He's just like, why are my car keys here? I didn't drive here. I took the bus here. Weaver looks at Rogers like, you didn't do what the fuck I asked you to. Like, because like all through this episode, you're really like questioning, is Weaver good or evil? Because all through the first couple of seasons, of course, Rumpelstiltskin was evil, like the dark one, of course. So you're trying to still gauge if he's still evil in Hyperion Heights. Rogers goes outside and is about to like throw Victoria's bracelet down the drain when Weaver stops him, and Rogers is like, I don't want this job if I have to do some dirty shit. And Weaver's like, you know why I picked you as my partner? It's because you have a conscience and I need that. Rogers is like, I'm not out of a job, and Weaver's like, no, I got you. So I was like, okay, so maybe he's good, but we'll see. We'll still see, because I bet you he got some evil tendencies up in him. Then Weaver goes to Victoria's like, I don't work for you, and then gives her her bracelet back, and Victoria's just looking like. So let's go back to Enchanted Forest for one last scene. So Henry is sending everyone back. You get a final, Emma's final scene on the show. I'm still sad that she's not going to be back for more episodes, but at least you know that she has her happy ending. She's pregnant. She has her husband. She has her parents. She has her baby brother. Like, she still has her loved ones, besides Henry, of course, but she has her loved ones. And Hook puts his hand on her belly and she puts her hand on the top, and it's just like, you just want to cry. And it's just like, well, why did you do this to me? Before that, Emma's like, why don't you team up with him so you guys can figure out everything? Like, you can find Cinderella, he can find his daughter, like, team up. Hook and Emma leaves. Then Henry goes to Regina and it's just like, hey, since you don't have your happy ending, because, you know, when they were having that conversation about, like, how's everyone, he asks about Regina, and Regina's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's next, because, of course, I don't have Robin, because Robin was incinerated. And then I don't have you, because you're out doing your adventure. I really don't have anyone. Like, I don't have a happy ending. And so Henry's like, how about you stay here with me so you can find your adventure and find your happy ending? And she agrees. So that's how we have Hook and Regina in Hyperion Heights, y'all. Go back to Hyperion Heights. So they're all at Ronnie's, and Rogers is explaining to Henry, like, why he was asking who this woman was is because when he first started working as a police officer, he was shot, and some woman, he thinks is Emma, came to heal him. So now that because she gave him a second chance, he wants to be a hero just like her. And so he's basically speculating that it's some evil doings in this city, and he wants to get to the bottom of it. It's a good thing that he has Henry, because Henry can write about it. And it's a good thing that he has Ronnie, is because Ronnie is a barkeep. She can be the eyes and ears behind the scenes, you know? So they're teaming up to try and destroy Victoria, because that's the big bad in this city. Well, that's it. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel where I post 4 days a week. Yes, I know. I'm aiming a little high here. Also, follow me on all my social media links, my Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, where I post regularly on all those good stuffs. And I think that's all I want to say. So I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye.